You're watching Appalachian Axeworks on YouTube.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about a budget-friendly knife today. I haven't made a video in a couple weeks, just took a break from it. This is a busy time of year for us, if you all don't know. I have 2 Etsy shops, a website, an antique store booth, and I also have a full-time job. So sometimes getting the videos done doesn't always work out. So I took a break from it for a couple weeks, but I think we're in good shape now, so I'm going to get back on the video making wagon. And I got a cool one today and a leather sheath to go with it. And this is a budget-friendly Rough Ryder. Model number RR2218. It's Rough Ryder Tiger Stripe Jig Bone. It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Of course, you got the Rough Ryder magnetic box. Let's see, we'll take a look here. Get rid of the box. Man, that's a nice looking knife. Look at that. Kind of got some nice mahogany color, some tiger stripes in there. Got them on both sides. Pretty cool. Nice looking knife. Looks like you got, now they say this is bone on the scales. Got brass liners, you can see there. You got the, you know, most of the time with Rough Ryder, they always have the nickel silver pins and bolsters, which you have here. Nice looking knife. I like the fact that it's not, the colors aren't symmetrical from one side to the other. You kind of got some different colors there. It's really nice looking. The blades you can see here, since this is a trapper, you can see the double matte stripe pulls on the blade, which I really like that. That's really nice. That's a nice, it's kind of an extra touch to me, but really cool. The closed length of this knife is 4 1/8 inches, so that's, you know, pretty close to a standard length trapper. They're right around in that size. So, all right, let's take a look at the blades. Pretty nice, nice looking blade. Got some nice little action there. Feels good. You got a clip point and a spay point blade on this knife. Nice looking. Let's take a look at the spay. And again, like the double matte strike pulls. Nice looking knife. Look at that. Really nice looking. I mean, for the money, this is, you know, you got the 440A stainless blades, and the fit and finish, as per usual on most Rough Ryders. I very rarely get a Rough Ryder where the fit and finish isn't really good. And this one's no exception. You can see there, everything's closed tight. There's no gaps anywhere. I mean, it's just nice fit. Sounds good when you close it. Nice looking knife. And the open length on this knife is 7 1/4 inches. Pretty nice. And then I already went ahead and made a leather sheath for this knife, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk a little more than normal about the sheath. So, but there you go. This is going for, it's on sale right now at Smoky Mountain Knife Works for $12.85. That's a heck of a deal. I mean, it's a lot of knife for $13. I mean, you're, I don't know, it's pretty impressive to me that they can do that for that kind of money. Amazon has it for $19. There's some other places out there that have it too, but you know, I always focus in on those 2 places because those are the 2 most common places people buy knives from. But there you go. That thing is really nice. And let's take a look at the sheath. So I went ahead and made a leather sheath for this knife. As you can see, it's just it's a fold over. Knife fits right in like this. So, but always use like 8, 9, 10 ounce vegged hand leather, and I always use top quality stuff. I tried, you know, once I learned how to do the leather work, I stopped using cheap ingredients in my leather work. And once you move to where you're using the more high quality stuff, you're obviously getting better results, but it's actually easier to work. When you buy nicer leather, the leather works a lot easier. So, but as you can see, I got copper rivets and burrs on the stress points. You got stitching down the side here, and I bond everything. This one did not need a welt, but if I think a sheath needs a welt, I always put it in. It's not that big of a deal. It's one little strip of leather. Doesn't make it that much tougher to stitch or anything like that. So, but this, being as it's a folding knife, didn't need a welt. But I always bond it, and that means I used a nice heavy leather cement on this. So actually, once you use that cement, you don't even have to stitch it. It'll hold. But stitching is, to give it that extra security. As you can see, I gave it like an Americana style design. You got the buffalo here and the stars, and then you got the scalps on the border. They added these like little arrowhead things around. Turned out really nice. This is a mahogany finish. I use everything I use is Phoebing's Pro Dye. Anytime I dye anything, I use Phoebing's Pro Dye. I don't use anything else. A lot of the other dyes seem to dry the leather out a lot more, and the Pro Dye is just, I get better results with the Pro Dye. And then the top coat, I use the Leather Balm and Adam's Wax, which is right here. So that's the top coat I use. I use that on a lot of things. Every once in a while, depends on the sheath, I'll only use like saddle butter or something like that as a top coat, but Obenauf's, something like that. I have all that stuff around here, but if I want to get a nice little sheen and get a protective coat on it, I use that Leather Balm with Adam's Wax. Once I dye it, usually everything I use a little bit, at least a little bit of antique paste, which is Phoebing's antique paste, and that kind of just gives you some definition, as you kind of makes your stamping pop out a little bit, and you don't have to use a lot of it. Just take it, lightly coat it, and wipe it off, and that'll just give that definition. But the stitching I always use tiger thread. Sometimes if I'm just doing a decorative stitch, like I did a hat band not too long ago, and I did a decorative stitch, and that was just some off-brand wax thread because I wanted a specific color. But if I'm using something that I need a secure stitch like this, I use tiger thread. This one here is, I just grabbed this one real quick. This is a spool of white tiger thread. I have a bunch of different colors, and I use the 1mm, and this is really nice thread. And it's really not that expensive compared to other sewing threads. So if you want to hand stitch, it's not that big of a deal, but there you go. And then some of the other, usually the sheet starts off like this. I cut them out. This is just a piece of Herman oak, which is good leather. And this is probably a 8-9 ounce Herman oak. And they start off like this. And then I give them, like, here's my little buffalo stamp, bison stamp. I know people get offended if I call that a buffalo, but they used to call those buffalo. Here's the nice little scallop stamp. And then we got the star there. And then the little, like, flame, arrowhead, whatever you want to call that. And copper rivets and burrs. These are number 12 1-inch. I always use number 12s, and I either buy 1-inch or 3/4 inch. It depends on what I think my projects are going to be coming up. So, and then when I'm hand stitching, these are 1/0 James. I think his name is John James needles. But there you have it. So you got a cool little combo. Got a Rough Rider, Trapper, model, 2218, and that is a budget-friendly knife that I can get behind. So, and the leather sheath. There you have it. So if you want to check out some of our vintage items, you can go to Appalachian Axe Works on Etsy or Catoctin Mountain Quartermaster on Etsy. We're on all the social media platforms, and I also list a lot of the budget-friendly knives in my Amazon store. The link will be in the description below. I appreciate everybody stopping by the channel and taking a few minutes and watching this video. If you like the video, hit the like button. Put a comment down below whether you like the knife and if you want to, if there's a specific knife you'd like to see a review on, you can comment down there and let me know, and I'll try to get a hold of it. I can get a hold of most stuff that's within reason.